Let's look into this a little bit deeper, shall we? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you a question. Well, two questions. The first question is, why are so many people, especially conservatives, leaving Twitter.com and going to a new platform called Gettr? That's Gettr, and elephant out the room straight away. This is not a commercial for either Twitter or Gettr. I'm just asking questions. My second thing is, will this make sense? Is the grass greener over on Gettr or nah? To answer that, let's back up a little bit. Now, shout out to Joe Rogan of the Joe Rogan podcast. That's my favorite podcast on the internet right now. He is a great news source. He brings on real guests that ask real questions and answer real questions. You understand what I'm saying? So shout out to Joe Rogan, big fan of his. Now, he had on two, I guess you would say, quote unquote, controversial guests. That's Dr. Robert Malone and Dr. Peter McCullough. Robert Malone helped invent the mRNA technology that's in the vaccines that we have. At least I think two of them. I don't want to say the names of the companies, but you already know what time it is. He helped to develop the mRNA technology. So he's not some kind of just random guy, some quote unquote crackpot, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theorist or whatever. Now, these doctors were saying some things on the time of the Joe Rogan podcast that I guess kind of rubbed the elites, the ivory tower dwellers the wrong way. So YouTube deleted both of those podcasts. They're gone from the platform. Twitter removed both doctors from Twitter.com. So Joe Rogan was like, all right, this is kind of crazy. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to go to Gettr in case things continue to get weird on Twitter, in case I get deleted or whatever the case may be. So Joe Rogan has pretty much endorsed Gettr. Tim Pool is over there. He has like 800,000 subs, which is a lot for, an alternative platform like Gettr. So people are starting to make that exodus from Twitter to Gettr. All right, because they're saying, Gettr is a free speech platform. I can go over there, say what I want to say, do what I want to do, etc. And people are following suit. I'm seeing all on my Twitter timeline, people are posting their Gettr links. Go to Gettr, go to Gettr, go to Gettr. But my question is this the right thing to do? I've been hearing about them being funded by China. I've been hearing that kind of in the background, and I didn't really pay it too much mind because I had no plans on going to Gettr. Because before I get to the whole China thing, which there is a lot there, there's a whole big rabbit hole there. So get your spelunking gear. We're going to go down in the cave. But before I get to it, I don't want to be on an alternative platform exclusively, especially because if you abandon Twitter totally, I'm not saying don't have other platforms. Like, for instance, I'm on YouTube.com right now, obviously, and Instagram and Facebook, but I also have a BitChute account. I would not only be on BitChute, I'm everywhere. You understand? And the reason why is because if you're not on the major platforms, you're not going to get seen by a lot of people. That's just the reality of the situation. Okay. You can be in multiple places, but don't just be in one kind of small offshoot echo chamber. You want to be where the action is, where the conversation is, where the debates are. If you leave Twitter and abandon it, who's going to have it? The left. And whoever's on Twitter remaining, they're going to get nothing but leftist information, leftist propaganda. That's why the mainstream media is the way that it is, because everybody on there's on the left. So regular normies that just watch TV when they get home from work and pop in a Coke and, and get a little dinner, they're going to see the mainstream media and believe it. And they're going to repeat their same old talking points. I was on Twitter doing one of these spaces, and this lady that was like 50 years old brought up Russians, talking about the Russians attacked black people in the election. That comes from the mainstream media, period. But I digress. So here's some evidence. Well, not necessarily evidence, but information that I have from Twitter. The person posting this is J. Michael Waller. Don't know a lot about him, but you can look all this stuff up that he's posted right here. He has pretty good information, and this Twitter thread will be in the description so you can check it out for yourself. But here's quite a few things about Gettr and the founder, Miles Wengui. So the founder, aka Miles Kwok, pled the fifth when asked in federal court about his money man, William G. He didn't dispute that G is a member of the CCP's Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, CCPPC. Say that 5 times fast, right? So this is information right here, and you see it's in Mandarin, right? And again, this will be in the description, right? And then the founder, Guo, is asked at the April 22nd, 2021 federal strategic vision trial, who is William G, Fifth Amendment? I don't want to answer that. All right, let's go back here. So William G is a member of the CCP, okay? And if you know about China, if you get money from China, if you operate in China, you have to abide by whatever the CCP says. There's no other way around it. It's one party, CCP, you get money over there, you got to comply with what they say. So why would Gettr be any different? Well, let's continue. Strategic vision. Quote, aren't you concerned with Mr. William J. being your money man if he is associated with the CPPCC? And the founder says Fifth Amendment yet again. Miles Guo Wenji, a.k.a. Miles Kwok, the founder of Gettr, admitted in the trial that his ultimate concern was not to overthrow the CCP because, let's pause right here. A lot of people are saying, hey, ABL, you know, this guy is a CCP dissident. He does not like the CCP, and he wants to overthrow him, kind of like what people say about Falun Gong, which ain't really true. Maybe it is a little bit, but that's a different story. Anyway, they think it's like he's anti-CCP. But check this out. His ultimate concern was not to overthrow the CCP, but to fight the Wang Qishan faction within the CCP that had ousted his sponsor, Deputy Minister of Security, Ma Jian. So you got it's some kind of internal beef happening right there. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on. It's not about the whole party, from his own words. It's about a certain faction in the party that's causing me problems. Okay. And if I didn't make it clear earlier, Miles Wenji is a guy that funded Gettr. I think it was like $75 million US he put into Gettr. So that's kind of important, right? A guy that has ties to the Chinese Communist Party is funding the platform you're going to for freedom from censorship when the CCP is notorious for censorship and spying. And I'm going to continue, but one thing I got to say right quick, I'm going to come back to my regular camera. People talk about, well, everything is made in China, ABL, your cell phone's made in China, everything's made in China. Well, hardware and software are a little bit different, okay? Your software, you're going to accept certain terms in the software that says, okay, you're going to broadcast data to this server and we can see it, and nobody reads that. Now, in that legalese that you don't read, how do you know you're not having your stuff sent to the Chinese Communist Party, straight to their servers? How do you know that? See, that was a problem with Huawei. Remember those phones? Now, Huawei was China trying to control the hardware as well. You see what I'm saying? Software is one thing, but hardware is something else. That's why I got banned, because you can't have the hardware automatically send stuff back to the CCP. Okay, you can make the hardware, but when you put things on the hardware that tie it to China, now we got something totally else going on. They can they can record your gait, how you walk, and see if you're sick or you got something wrong with you. Your microphone can get turned on, and whatever you're saying can be recorded in real time, and they can hear it in China. So that is a whole problem that they were trying to avoid in prior administrations, why they banned Huawei. Cell phones that are made there, like Samsung, Apple, or whatever, that's a whole different story, because it's not, the hardware is not tied to the party, if that makes any sense. But I'll continue. All right. In the trial, Miles Wenji admitted that he met with senior Ministry of State security officials in his New York City home in May 2017. Guo admitted he signed a letter to Xi Jinping that he didn't, quote unquote, cross the red line in exposing too much dirt on CCP leaders. Basically, it's like, yo, I'm giving them scraps. They're thinking I'm on their side, but am I really? Maybe not. And again, look all it up. Don't believe me. Look all this stuff up. I'm just messenger. Don't shoot me, please. If you love Gettr, that's great, but you should know this information that I'm giving to you right now. At the strategic vision trial, Miles Guo-Wenji refused to tell the court on grounds of self-incrimination whether or not it was true that the CCP retaliated against him by freezing his assets in Hong Kong and the mainland. Quote, Fifth Amendment. There you go. Miles Guo-Wenji admitted he received Communist Chinese Deputy Minister of State Security Liu Yanping at his New York home in May 2017. Strategic vision. Mr. Guo, you were bargaining with him over your assets, though, weren't you? Again, I plead the fifth. In a strategic vision trial, Gettr founder Miles Guo-Wenji would not tell the court whether he was getting money from Communist China. Twice he pled the fifth against self-incrimination to avoid answering. Okay, so this goes on for a while. I think you pretty much get it. Now, a guy like Bannon, and again, there's more there, but you can read it. You can pretty much get the idea. It's kind of shady. It's like, well, what's really going on? Are you, part of the Chinese Communist Party or not? What's really happening? I plead the fifth. I think this is important to understand. If there's some questions about, where's the money coming from and who's funding it and who's the money man and what's your real, mission, that's pretty important for a platform that is promoting free speech and, you could do pretty much whatever. And one thing I got to say before I wrap it on up, Gab, I guess, is also like the same thing. And it's weird because it's always these new platforms, right? You got Gab and Parler, now it's Gettr. Now, if Gab does not have an app on the App Store because they don't follow the rules and regulations, I guess, because they allow things on there that are just too, quote unquote, extreme. Parler had issues with Amazon and whatnot. Why is Gettr allowed to just do whatever they want? Why are they not being censored in the way that other apps are censored? Because it's one thing to be censored on Twitter as a consumer of it, as a person with a twitter.com account. It's a whole different thing for Twitter itself to be censored from the App Store. They've not done that. Gettr has not done that, but Parler and Gab have. So that tells you something right there. But as I close, I want to say this. I'm not trying to say don't go to Gettr. I'm not trying to attack Gettr. I'm just saying there's information out there. Maybe you should know it. Know the information, look into it, research, and make your own mind up. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you have a Gettr account? Are you confident that it's not being spied on by the Chinese Communist Party? Are you confident that, this whole thing with the money man, 75 million from the CCP or a CCP affiliate is nothing. It's kind of a nothing burger. Everything's funded by China anyway. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. But you guys pretty much know where I'm at. I'm cool on that China stuff. TikTok the same way. And the funny part about TikTok is that TikTok is actually banned in China, although it's Chinese. It's funny, right? They have an app called Douyin, but Douyin is not TikTok. Yes, it's an exact clone. Yes, it does the same thing as TikTok, but there's no quote unquote Western trash on Douyin. China has no issue feeding you Western trash and Eastern propaganda from mainland China, straight from Beijing, straight from the CCP's headquarters. They don't mind sending you that, but they send their own people something totally different on a whole different app. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.